is it me? Is it that is just a lovely morning in the Spice Isle, Grenada, our sister isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. Good morning to everyone. GT in your company once again. Welcome to another edition of To The Point, the final edition for this particular week, week ending the 15th day of July 2022. How is everybody doing? As I said in the intro, is it me or is it just a lovely, lovely morning for me? I'm on my way to work this morning. Nice, cool, breezy kind of morning. That's my interpretation of the morning. I'm not sure how you're feeling. If probably you're feeling the same, let me know. Let me know if you have the same feeling about what it's like on the outdoors right now. Let me say good morning to my listeners this morning via K105, whether you're listening K105 in the northern part of the island, the most southern part of the island, or you're in the sister isles and you're locked on. Good morning and thanks for making us your choice. Also, let me say good morning to our viewers via GBN TV. Those of you who are viewing via GBN TV, whether it's channel 711 or channel 20, let me say good morning to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Let me say good morning to my social media viewers this morning, especially those of you via Facebook. Don't forget to share the live. Your comments will be welcome in terms of the various topics that we will be speaking about in terms of the open line segment again this morning. It's another open line where you have the option of calling in and sharing your views on various topics that certainly you have some bit of a concern about. We certainly welcome your phone calls. I guess you know the number by now that you could participate via. It's 435-2041, 435-2041. We take your phone calls, requesting that you keep your comments short, please. So in the effort of time, we're getting that feedback that folks are complaining that some folks are on a bit too long in terms of the comments. So sometimes you got lots to say, but maybe you could just sum up what you're saying pretty quickly until we get it over with. All right? So your phone calls are welcome. There's lots have happened for this particular week. You probably may just want to summarize on some of the things that you saw happen this week, and you may have a particular way of bringing it across. We certainly will welcome your phone calls. Once again, the number is 435-2041, and your phone calls are welcome. I think I already have a caller. Let me go over to the line and say good morning. So I think I may have lost that one. 435-2041. That's 435-2041. That's the number. Say good morning once again to viewers via Facebook this morning. Yesterday I was having a problem viewing it from my end for some reason. Maybe it was my Facebook page that was probably given an issue anytime, but I was only able to get that. I think I have that rectified this morning. So your comments certainly will be welcome in terms of your participation, and I will certainly throw them out. Those of you via WhatsApp, also, if you have a comment and two that you would like me to throw out to the public, I will certainly be grateful to say. To throw that out this morning. Once again, the number 435-2041. And we do have a very first caller. Let me make sure I touch the knob correctly. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning, Gary. How are you this morning?
And it's GT.
GT.
No problem. How are you doing, sir?
I am humble in the name of the Lord.
All right, that's good. And
how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, one little concern I have, right?
Yes.
Now, I noticed for quite a while, I've been listening to the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they have to bring across something that the Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, right, or the other colleagues, saying something, you're not hearing the words that they say.
All right.
So I would like that if they could improve on that, look into it, and can I improve on it for me, please?
All right. So you're talking relatively to clips being played, you are not hearing it?
I beg your pardon?
You're talking pertaining to the clips or so forth that they have to fit in the news. You're not hearing it?
You're not hearing it.
Okay, well, I hope the folks will look into that.
So I tried calling Chrissy this morning, and I didn't get through that.
Okay. Well, hopefully that will be rectified for the next time around.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good morning, sir.
Thursday and a pleasant weekend.
You too, my dear, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay. It's to the point. It's Friday the 15th day of July. Once again, your phone calls are welcomed. Good morning to you, caller. Good
morning, GT.
How are you, sir?
Good this morning.
Yeah.
And I just want to continue sharing my little bit here.
Sure, go right
First
ahead.
of all, in terms of the return to the radio part of the news that in the evening, I think that's a good thing. And it shows that when people advocate for what is justly reasonable, they can get it.
All right.
I think without the agitation or advocacy of those who have done the advocacy, we may have the situation where a sector of the population will be left out. In fact, I never was satisfied when GBN tried to merge the two news, because I used to listen to 6 o'clock news religiously. And then I didn't have that opportunity after a while. So it's good that it would. I don't know the time will return, but at least people should have equal access or near equal access to whatever is being delivered as a public, good through the radio station. My other point, and I'll be brief, is that I cannot help being in great admiration for the new Prime Minister. I'm not somebody particularly fond of political folks, but the new Prime Minister is forever, telling me that he is a serious person and he knows what he's doing. The idea of inviting people to be on the board to express their interests, I think, was one of the most revolutionary thing he has done so far. And the fact that he is emphasizing the need for different, that the composition should be made up of women, of youth, of intergenerational thing, I think is very superb. And what I would challenge people who may respond, that being on a board is serious business. Unfortunately, over the years, the boards have been used as a reward for people who support the various political, mainly one political party, not exclusively. And so you had people on board who had no clue what they were about, only to collect the stipend or to be like some kind of spy or some kind, the word right now, but somebody who can be a news bringer as to what was discussed in those boards to the then leader.
All right.
So it's good that we're moving in that direction, and it's speaking to the spirit of transformation. I want to applaud the Prime Minister for that. I've not had the opportunity to do such things for more than 30 years. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for your comment this morning. And, in all that's happening, it's all about nation building and developing this nation, moving us forward. And I'm certainly happy for all that's happening in terms of getting this nation to another level. We certainly need to go there. Let's go to another caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yes. First and foremost, I must say that this last caller that called, he always takes too much of his time on the air. He must do better than that. Anyway, what I call to say is that now we are a people. We must be honest and be just in our ways of behavior pattern. We have a nasty habit. If someone does good, speak good about them. They do bad, you speak bad. Ill will or favor, you don't have no favor. But we have a nasty habit. You do good, they won't see the good in you. But you always think about bad to talk about it. They must do better than that. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your, of course, bits and pieces this morning. Of course, we do also respect your opinion. Let's take another caller. The number once again is 435-2041. It's to the point. It's an open line this morning for today, Friday. And, of course, we appreciate you calling in and expressing your concerns. You probably have a thought that's been percolating through your mind for a wee bit now, and you want to say, I think I want to get it out this morning. You may not say that how I'm saying it, but I just want to get it out. We certainly welcome your calls. It's to the point. Let me say good morning once again to those of you via our Facebook page. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in, viewing, listening. Our listeners via K105, which one of the frequency you are tuning via. Let me say good morning to you, and thanks for making us your choice as always. Let's go back to the phone. Oh, we lost that caller there. It's to the point for today, Friday. I did mention it's our final one for the week. And we taking your phone calls. Those of you out there who probably have that bit of an issue you want to say this morning and you're saying, or probably you see something positive happening thus far with the new government in place, and you like the direction things are going. You may not have been a particular supporter of the party that's in power right now, but for some reason or other, you like what you're seeing, you like what you're hearing, and you probably want to express that to you this morning. We certainly will welcome your calls. Or you probably want to talk, you probably don't want to get into the political part of things, and you probably want to talk about, it's Carnival 2022. It's happening, and you probably have an idea that you probably want to share with the Carnival committee. They probably may have thought about that, and you say, hey, if they do this, do that. We had a caller pull it in yesterday that actually stated things he has done to promote Carnival ideas in other countries and so forth, and that has worked. And you probably have an idea that you think, hey, they never did that before, So probably if they try that, it could certainly make a whole lot of difference. Let's go to the phone line. Let's say good morning to you, caller. Caller, how are you?
Good morning, yeah. I just want to make an observation for Tongue of St. George. There's a piece of road that goes through the 7 days, Archibald Avenue, and goes out to Lucas Street. That piece of road is very bad, and over 15, 20 years, this piece of road is like that.
Really?
And nobody looking at it.
Really?
A government come. The road is leaning like it's going down on the side.
I think I have an idea what you're talking about. That's been bad for a while.
And that is in the Tongue of St. George, They should do something about that. Tell whosoever is responsible that they should look at the road and do something about it.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, caller, for your for there this morning. Pretty soon, I know someone a while ago alluded me to the fact that back then there used to be individuals who would who may work with the Ministry of Works or so forth, who will walk around and look at these issues, roads, and go back and have these things taken care of. We don't see that happening much anymore. If it do happens, for whatever reason, it's delayed in happening. And you don't have to let things deteriorate to a point that it becomes unrepairable sometimes, and I think that's a little bit an issue in this country. Things get on all things, everything seems to have to deteriorate to a very low level before we give it any attention. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Hello.
Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Fairly all right.
All right. Go right
now,
ahead.
I usually say, and this is a fact, wrong is wrong and right is right. When people are calling or they are expressing their views, underline the word views, it could either be right or wrong. And it hurts me to hear people are calling and say they're calling to make a point. Now, maybe you're making an observation or you're saying something that could be right or wrong. The only thing that are right, and right is determined by the society or the environment in which right and wrong, or wrong, is determined by the society in which you live. There may be even between your little environment in which you are living. Or it could be the whole country. It's the norm then. And even the norm sometimes, according to what they adopt as norm, could be wrong. Because you might be living in an area where the people are, to some extent, bathing naked, and this area would consider it to be right, and perhaps the whole nation or the rest of the nation might determine this wrong. Then this is possible wrong. Exactly. 2 and 2 is determined all over the world. It's universally accepted. It's 4. But we are using, as those scientists will say, and people like you and others will say, we are using something you call base 10. But possible 2 and 2 could be 5. It depends on the base used.
Well, you could say 22.
So, it's hurt me, yes. It hurts me to see that a lot of us are saying things, and they are convinced that they are right. I'm not convinced. If somebody could tell me when I say something that I'm wrong, you have to give me the facts. Don't jump to the conclusion that I'm wrong because I say this, or this person is talking nonsense when you cannot do even better than the person. It's time that we sort of look into ourselves before we condemn others. In fact, criticism could have good as well as bad. So if I criticize you, maybe I should be able to say what is better or what is good And this is how I look at life. This is what it should be. It's time that we call and criticize people, and even saying that a person, even you, if you listen to somebody and you would keep them for a longer period than normal, it is because they are really saying something
that has some relevance. That has some relevance.
Yes,
also.
Definitely. And people don't understand that. That is why you can cut them off and you shouldn't cut them off. It's time that we understand that. Thanks.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution. It's to the point. We're going to take our very first break for this morning. We're going to take that break. When we come back, we continue with the phone calls and the opportunity for you callers and viewers to share your views and concerns. We're coming right back. Don't touch it out.
I want to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
They are the few, the strong, the elite. Grenada, get ready as our sporting gladiators go for gold and glory at the World Championships. Follow every throw, stride and jump from July 15th to the 24th. Capture the action daily on GBN Television. It's the World Championships. The dream continues.
James is going to win it.
You know, one day I woke up and, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Welcome back to the point for today, Friday the 15th day of July 2022. 20 minutes after the hour this morning, and welcome once again. Welcome back to our viewers via GBN TV, channel 7, 11 or channel 20. Those of you listening via K105, good morning. It's an open line for today for To The Point. We're going back directly to the phone line as we start this segment off. Let me say good morning to this caller. I've been been online for a while. Let's say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing A-OK, sir.
I'm just calling to make a short comment on that caller who a few minutes ago commented on right and wrong.
Go right ahead.
Now, a famous writer, Paul John Stuart Mill, wrote that 1 million people may say one thing and one say the opposite. The one person might be right and the million might be wrong. So these things deal with a field of philosophy called ethics, and different people state different criteria for determining what is right and wrong.
Okay, so I might say one particular action is right, you might say it's wrong. The controversial question is this: are there any absolute criteria for determining what is right or wrong, or is determination of right and wrong relative? Right. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, thank you so much, caller. And the caller do have a point there, because people have different views on different things, and you may see something in a particular way as an individual, and in your way of understanding it, and you may say, hey, that is right. And someone else may look at that same thing, and you could be looking at the television right now. You may say, from the angle you're looking at me, hey, he's probably sitting in the wrong angle. Or someone say, yes, he's sitting in the right angle. So everybody has their own way of our perception per way of things. So, let's go over to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, GT. How are you today?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing this morning?
All right, fine.
All right, go right ahead with your point this morning.
Yeah, I just want to give you a follow-up. 4 of the longest operating shop I know.
Well, you come back and give me a little history this morning once again, right?
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that a whole lot.
All the time.
I appreciate that a whole lot, man.
Right. We're going to St. Patrick's. Lamoud, when you're going down the hill in Lamoud, that junction there, and it have a garbage bin on the right-hand side. The shop is on the right side. That's been operating since 1914.
Since 1914?
Yeah, but that did modernize. Different generation take over.
All right.
And they keep it, but that's still from since 1914.
All right, great.
You come into Belmont, Mr. Brewster shop. That is in the 50s, since in the 50s.
All right.
And then they modernize, change up. Then you come to Granans, Mr. T shop, which is button shop. They operating since in the 50s, but they modernize, different generation take over. Then you come to Matsavi shop, 50s, same thing in the 50s. But that is a shop that didn't change its face. Maybe they do some changes in the inside.
All right.
But just as it is.
But the physical structure of the building has remained the same.
The same, right.
Okay, great.
But then, what I look at sometimes, these are the places when independent, they should be able to give them some award because they've been serving the public for years upon years.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you, of course. When we do have an open line segment, not true for next week. Next week may be probably filled with guests. So when we do have another open line segment, you probably can always share some history with us. I appreciate it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Have a blessed day, man.
All right.
Okay. All right. That's a bit of history there. And we say good morning to our Facebook viewers, listeners there who have been sharing their concerns. And I have one, of course, viewer there who is sharing a concern pertaining to motorists, vehicle owners, especially in the Bolio area, who indiscriminately parked on both sides of the road, created obstruction for both the motorists and pedestrians. And this is need for a traffic warden or police to mark spot per se. Or spot checks, I should say. Let me just get all of you comment in. And in that particular area, probably to issue tickets if necessary. Another concern is that of workers who are completing their road contract. The debris is removed from the drains and are left on the side of the road to harden, creating obstructions. Ministry of Works, please ensure that these projects are completed in its entirety. That's one of course, a viewer via Facebook sharing that bit of a concern there. And that's a so true, caller. I have also taken notice it. There's always seems to be that obstruction when you're going up to that Bolio area. When you're leaving St. George, you're going to Granatang or something. And there's always somebody parked on the side of the road there. I even notice it early in the morning, and even in the afternoon times when traffic per se gets a little bit busy, and they park there and the obstruction. And sometimes, sometimes as an individual we could foresee things. If I park there and if some folks is coming down, you're only obviously going to stop the traffic that is coming down. You understand? And people probably could see things in a different, but not everybody sees things like that. Let's go back to the phone. we have lost that caller there. More of your thoughts and concerns via our Facebook page. And I'm seeing one individual is saying that the new PM is actually a people's person. One of the first steps in running a country is to be friendly, respectful, and upfront with your people. He's not perfect, but the people will understand him when he speaks, or the people understands him when he speaks. Your phone calls are welcome, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line and see who we have online this morning. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm fine, and how are you?
Doing good.
Well, I am touched this morning, and I don't know if the Holy Spirit is asking me. Our Prime Minister, that young man, there's beauty coming from him on a daily basis. Every time I hear his voice, it brings me back to Morris Bishop.
All right.
And what I'm asking the nation to do, and even in the diaspora, every time you hear his voice, you see a picture of him or you remember him, please whisper a prayer in your heart, asking God's protection on him. He is beautiful, and he will do a lot for our country, Grenada. But he needs time. There are a lot of dirty sheets that need to be uncovered on mattresses. And this will be a challenge for him and even for the nation. But I trust in God, and all I'm asking that the people of Grenada and even in the diaspora, please whisper a prayer on his behalf every time you hear his voice, you see a picture of him, or you see him, or even when his thoughts come into your mind, pray for him. Thank you.
Okay, caller, thanks very much for your contribution this morning. The telephone number, 435-2041, the 435-2041. And we're taking your phone calls. Let's go back to the line. Caller, good morning. How are you? Welcome to the point.
I'm fine, thank you. GT, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
I'm telling you, I sat there listening to the station, and I was not inclined to call. But after that last caller, I said, Lord, let me get you. Because exactly what this lady said, it's not only that I hear his voice. No, I know God has chosen him for deliverance for this nation. I don't know if he's a born-again believer in Christ or not. But regardless of what status he is spiritually, I agree 1,000% with this lady that we should continuously pray for his protection. Protection, not only physical protection, but spiritual protection. There are certain things I know, and I could say, but I wouldn't, because you can't go in a court of law and say, well, the Spirit of the Lord tells me that. They don't know about this thing. But there are a lot of things God has revealed to many people concerning this country, and that's why the country went into prayer. Those who God spoke to, he led them to pray, and as I said before the election was called, the date was given for it, but before it happened, the Lord showed me this man was taking the oath of office as Prime Minister. I don't know the man. I never saw him except you would see him on television or on the internet away. I never seen him. If I pass him on the street, I may not know who he is.
Okay.
But this is God's choice. And as the lady said, we have to give him time because there's a lot of dirty mattresses we have to uncover. Nice clean sheets over them, but the mattresses are dirty, and they might have to take out the things inside those mattresses and empty them out and clean Grenada. So please, Grenada, especially those of you who are Christians, who are born again, who are walking with God, pray for the Prime Minister. You don't have to like him. Obey God and pray for those in authority. Thank you, and God bless you, Titi.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning, caller. And let's see where we have some comments been posted via our WhatsApp. Let me see if I could read a few of them before I actually take this other caller that's online. I'm not seeing anything that is relevant to throw this morning. And someone is saying that everyone is expecting too much from the new government. How many of the are willing to volunteer their time to help them to succeed? It will take more than 2 terms just to clean up half of the mess Grenada is in. And that's a comment there on WhatsApp. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. GT, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, man.
Yes, I'm calling on behalf of something that has been done to Grenadians almost 15 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, there are some Grenadians that purchased some shares in Cable and Wireless in 2008, just before the election in 2008. And some people have invested substantial amount of money in these shares. And up till this day, they cannot know anything about their monies or anything about their shares, or nothing has been told to them, no meeting has been held, no financial statement has been given to them, and they are just there. I met an elderly lady and she was telling me that she and her 2 daughters invested so much money in these things and they are just left holding an empty bag. So I don't know. It is the past administration that sold these shares in Cable and Wireless, and up till this day nobody knows about nothing about their own monies. So I'm calling on the past administration to see if they can do something about that, to give some justice onto the people that are just there holding an empty bag for 15 years now.
That certainly is a concern.
Yes, that's a serious thing. All right, thank you very much.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And I am looking at our Facebook page, and it's saying that the idea I have is that in the transformation of Grenada, we should look at the road expansion to meet the needs of modern traffic. Yes, we need to service what is there, but the road need to be redone. You know, caller, I certainly not caller, but the comment there via Facebook is so true. But could it really be fixed now? I think maybe back in the day when the roads were constructed, it's just an opinion of mine. I don't think the folks who did it really thought that Grenada probably gotten to the level that we're at right now. You know, a lot of houses are built exactly, you should say, on the road. Some of the houses and so forth. So maybe in certain areas where we would love to see the roads expand, it may be impossible. Maybe impossible. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. How are you? Caller, good morning.
Good morning again.
Could you be quick, please?
Yes, I've said it already in connection with the road. I think this government should limit the sizes of the trucks, the big trucks that are coming, the 400 or 500 ton trucks. We do not have the roads built for that purpose. And that's why the roads are sinking and being deteriorating fast. So we have to limit the tonnage of this truck that are coming in together. It's true that maybe it's big boys like you and others like you that have owned the trucks. Maybe past government official or people are fronting with them that are having these trucks. And or they have share. Some of these past people might have had share. Those who are possibly ruling might have had share in these trucks.
Take another 30 seconds, caller.
Yeah. And this is a serious thing. And let me just end by saying, when I talk, to some extent, I don't want people to misinterpret me. Because a caller called, and I don't understand what he was saying as to my comment. And I consider him to be opposition, but he should have said that because he make a blanket statement. It didn't have substance to me. Thank you.
All right, caller. Thanks very much for your contribution this morning. And the caller was calling in relation to trucks. I sometimes think, maybe something needs to be done, but the timeline we deal with big trucks are allowed to be on the nation's roads. I think something seriously should be done about that. Because sometimes they do cause a bit of an obstruction. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you? Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning. You know, under all the old talk, I could boldly say, and without regret, with all due respect, the Prime Minister does not win. I don't really know him, but I didn't hear him coming and running down anybody and talking anything bad in their concern. You know, he only thinks some positivity for the nation to go forward.
All right.
And he has the unity to have people working together. I didn't hear him going down like how some people getting on. So they must think about it, take the leaders' step and behave themselves rightly. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, caller. Moving the time down to make that, should I say moving up, to make that 24 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's take a break. When we come back, we take some more of your phone calls. It's to the point for today, Friday, the 15th of July.
Have you heard about 4-7?
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
They are the few, the strong, the elite. Grenada, get ready as our sporting gladiators go for gold and glory at the World Championships. Follow every throw, stride and jump from July 15th to the 24th. Capture the action daily on GBN television. It's the World Championships. The dream continues.
James is going to win it.
You know, one day I woke up.
Welcome back once again to the point for today, Friday, the 15th day of July. It's an open line today again, and we do have a call already online. Let's go for to this call and say good morning. Caller, how are you? Good morning.
Yeah, GT.
How you doing, my brother? Good morning.
Not bad at all.
All right.
I'm calling concerning something on the airport, which I had an airport bond at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear anything about it?
The airport bond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was that about?
Where you give certain money, certain companies take out certain money out of your money and send it to that bond, to the airport.
All right. I have limited details pertaining to that. Maybe I could find out more about that for you. Probably we could chat about that next time. But I have limited details pertaining to that.
All right. Okay.
All right, my brother. Thanks so much for your contribution. And I do have a WhatsApp message here from a listener viewer this morning. And the comment was, we want to know what the new administration doing about St. George's Market and why a person using their pay time to lock up in the office pretending to do legal documents while the market is dirty and filthy, where dirt line up on both sides both sides, with the sidewalks and drains, people squeezing to walk through. It's time that they put the police in charge of that particular facility with a manager who can manage and cleaners who will do their jobs. That's just a bit of a concern there from one of our viewers and listeners that came in there via WhatsApp. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, JT.
And it's GT, not the J. GT. Not the J. Good morning.
GT. Right. I called to give you a little joke.
A joke.
You know, most people, when they buy a little pig, they grow it up. But I know you have one man that grew down a pig. I never ever hear that in history. Somebody bought the pig for him. They paid $30 for the little pig they give him to mine. He mined the pig for 3 years. When 3 years up, he killed the pig, he make $15. So he shared the $15 between he and the person that bought the pig for him. She gets $750, he gets $750. When he bring the $750 for her, she say, "Oh boy, I know everybody does grow up little pig, but you grow down this one week." So you have a man in Grenada that does grow down pig.
All right, caller, thanks for cheering up everyone this morning. Have a good morning. It's K105 on your dial, GBN TV. It's to the point for today, Friday. A little sense of humor is all good at times. It's all good. And let's go back to the phone line. We have another caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, caller. How are you?
Is it to the point?
Yes, it is.
Yes. I have two things to talk about this morning. I noticed that a lot of money being poured down the drain during election time, and the past government has been wasting taxpayers' money in all kinds of nonsense. But drugs for the hospital, like the antigen or the reagent for doing a blood test, simple blood test. When you go there to get your blood test done, they're sending you to the private clinics because they don't have the reagent. I mean, that is nonsense. Taxpayers' money being used to do all sorts of nastiness instead of being used to put things in place in the general hospital. Just a PSA test for people with prostate problem, they have to go in private place to get the blood test done. And money has been wasted in all other sorts of things. I think the people in charge now of health must look into these things and know what has been going on, and I know that they will do better. Right. Another thing is the School of Nursing. The School of Nursing has been taken away and given to I don't know who. And we have so many nurses who were trained, but they were not trained in the midwifery program. And we have buildings where we have maternity units on the district. Now they have a new building they open, they call it a polyclinic. But no nurses to work there. Only 2 nurses in a big clinic like that because we have no midwives being trained. So who would you work in the maternity unit to deliver babies? I think that they should consider that very seriously to bring back the School of Nursing for the general hospital where it belongs so that nurses could be trained, and especially now where a whole set of nurses have left the country and they have gone away, we need to bring back our School of Nursing. That's very, very important for Grenada. And we train the best type of nurses in Grenada, School of Nursing, so that they can go abroad and make themselves great. So why close down our School of Nursing and giving it to SGU? I think the government must think seriously about that and return our School of Nursing.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution there, and very interesting contribution there also. 50 minutes moving out before the top of the hour. It's to the point for today, Friday, and I'm looking at our WhatsApp messages that are coming in, and one listener viewer this morning is saying via WhatsApp, they're saying that I would like the Prime Minister to investigate those monies that were given for projects in Carriacou that is not completed or not yet started. So hopefully the authorities, I know there are folks who listen, and they probably will look into that. Let's go over to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Morning, GT. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good.
Yeah, listen to me good. A question was morning.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, a question was posed to Sean Charles on the 15th of March 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a question was posed to Sean Charles.
Posted to who?
22. Pertaining to the dialysis machine.
Okay.
All right. He stayed 8 weeks and he came back on the road. He never said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
15, 17 weeks gone now, and he said the machine won't purify water. And up to now, we ain't nothing from Sean Charles.
All right. I understand your concern, caller.
Nothing! Sean Charles, stop lying for people!
All right, caller. I understand your patience about pertaining to it, but sometimes we do have to control our emotions at times. The number you call, 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's get another caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Young man, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
The number of atrocities committed by the past government over the many decades they have ruled this country is far beyond tolerance by the entire nation. It makes me sick. The number of them. In fact, there is a judgment on the Kawana Bay issue. It yet to be delivered. It would cost the government some money, I believe, with this CBI guy and some hotel construction. And there are so many failed projects. I belong to Victoria. And Victoria is associated with a full farm project failure and a shrimp farm project failure. Nothing has been done about it. Money simply disappeared. In Victoria, on the beach near to the fish market, the PRG constructed a bathroom and toilet with washing sinks at the back for males and for females in the year 1980. After 1999, with a new politician around, this bathroom and toilet was demolished and the property attached to that of a politician, and they extended the building on it. I want the government to get into this issue and jail who they have to jail. I still go on the Victoria Beach, and I still swim in the Victoria Beach waters, but there is no toilet for me to use before I go in the water, and there is no shower for me to rinse when I come from the water, because it has been demolished by, well, we all know who. This is bad enough for Victoria. And the many, many, many atrocities. Every day, all you could hear is about wrongdoing committed by a government. I know this new government has it on their hands to repair, to fix, to transform. But I want to see justice prevailing. Thank you.
Thank you also very much, caller, for your contribution this morning. We drew for a final break on the program this morning. We're certainly going to take it now, and on the return, we take the final segment of the show for today. We're coming right back. Don't you dare touch your dial. It's to the point.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
They are the few, the strong, the elite. Grenada, get ready as our sporting gladiators go for gold and glory at the World Championships. Follow every throw, stride and jump from July 15th to the 24th. Capture the action daily on GBN television. It's the World Championships. The dream continues.
James is going to win it.
You know, one day I woke up And they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop. Look. Hand out. Eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
We are back inside the finals segment of To The Point for today, Friday. Just moving up to 8 minutes before 10 o'clock. We wrap the program up at 10 o'clock. Let's go to the phone line. We do have a caller already online. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, GTA. I agree with my partner. Deal who you have to deal because everybody know who. All we agree and know who we have to deal. So back to you on here.
Thank you so much, caller. Short and to the point, as you would say. Here on To The Point for today, Friday. Folks, it's another open line for today, our final edition of To The Point for this particular week. Join us again next week for another edition. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, since you wouldn't have most of the next week wouldn't be open line. Let me say something I've been wanting to say from the beginning. Mm-hmm. One of the things I've not recognized that Lotto have returned to GBN. This is part of the transformation and restoration of order in this country. Because while I had my issue with GBN, when whoever made the decision to withdraw advertising by the National Lottery Authority, I mean, it was unjust. And when you consider GBN is partly owned by the government and people of Grenada, and should be benefiting in some of the resources that is part of the state, and it was prevented from that. I thought it was a travesty of, well, I don't even know what to say. All that is part of the corruptive nature of the past regime. Finally, in relation to a point a caller made earlier about people taking too much time and so on. I agree with one of your callers that said it depends on how the person is acting, his attitude. It depends on the quality of the contribution the person is making, that the host choose to keep the person on or say, okay, well, you have whatever time. The callers, we shouldn't be telling you folks who to entertain and who not to entertain. I think, as Wizard says, that is an NMP.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution there. It's To The Point for today, Friday. So let me say good morning to our social media platforms, per se, especially those of you via Facebook. Good morning to those of you. I'm not going to sing a lot of names this morning, but thanks for taking part to view and, of course, contribute via the comment section. I want to tell you the time under which you folks all the best for today. The callers, those who've been calling in, I want to thank you also very much. Still have time to take a couple more of your phone calls. I think we do have one online. Let's go back and say good morning. Good morning, caller. How are you?
JT, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling for Friday?
How I'm feeling for today, Friday. Well, in the initial start of the program, I was saying it's a wonderful Friday. I just love how the outdoors feels this morning. How's it for you?
I am feeling very good.
Okay, nice.
Though I have to work, but I love to work. Because it's the money too, eh?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yes, JT. Now, the thing, there was somebody yesterday who made a comment about somebody killed somebody, his wife, and then run away, and they caught them in England. Now, if they didn't catch them in England, if that person had time get to India, there's no way. I don't think we could have tackled them anymore.
Yeah, there probably wouldn't be no extradition from that country to ours.
Exactly. Now, lots of Grenadian men kill women, cut off their head, do all kind of things. And they stop hanging in Grenada, so they give them lifetime in prison. Jay, you know what? This thing bothering me. That you come from wherever. You come with an aim and a purpose, according to my understanding. Then you kill the person. It's not like you was fighting and the person lick you and you hand heavy or whatever. Then you go and dispose the body away, however they found it. Now you still have the right to bring your family come back to Grenada. And this is the hurtful part, you know. And living for us, looking at us, and building for us. Because now, if I know this store, I wouldn't go there and purchase anything anymore. Maybe I don't support them, I don't know, because Jay, if I go up Grenville and you have something in the store, I don't know, I go and buy.
Exactly.
So if I know, I wish the person that called would give the name of the store so that I wouldn't go back there and buy again ever. So now what I'm saying, I'm wondering if that person had children, if they have, what about their family, their parents, whatever, you know, what are they going through, how are they feeling? So two things I want to ask this morning. That the Prime Minister, not Dickie Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell, under his watch, those things went on. He's the opposition leader today. I want him to come and explain, give us some whatever, the Attorney General, the person in the prison, the person that's responsible for the prison commissioner, the then commissioner of police, the lawyers. Please, all you come out and let us know so then we set at ease. Last point. I'm calling on the wife of that individual and the children. The children may not know the father is a murderer, cold-blooded murderer. So I don't know if the wife knows. Take your children and leave. And we civilian, Mr. Bido and all of us, Ms. Jeremiah, we're going to handle the criminal. Have a good weekend.
You have a good day yourself. Okay. All right, caller. What could I say? Well, not much response I could give towards what the caller actually said. But understand. Let's take another caller. Could be our final caller for this morning. Caller, good morning. How are you?
GT.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. Go right ahead with your contribution. This guy that come back and saying about taking taking too much time. This is not an educational program. This is a to the point program. You come, you make your point, you shut up, and you get off the program. So it's not an educational.
All right, caller. Caller, I understand.
I certainly. But you don't have to stay. He and Ms. Jeremiah, they must know when it's time to not come. Oh, shut. Bye.
All right, caller. Thanks for your contribution. We're looking at exactly straight up 10 a.m. in the studios here of K105 and GBN TV. We want to say thank you very much to all our callers this morning. Those who've been viewing via GBN TV, I want to thank you also for taking the time out to view To The Point for this particular week. Interesting week it was. And thus far, I hope that next week we can get into more conversations that will be of relative importance and nation building as a whole. So until then, have yourselves a great day, especially also our viewers via Facebook, YouTube. Thank you so much for your contribution. Have yourself a wonderful day once again. And that's where we come to the end of To The Point for today. Blessings goes out to all.